Hi guys, welcome back to another track guide video with me, Zermatt, Zimdog, tuning in the Lotus GT1. As you know, this setup's free to go and download from any of the leaderboards or to search my game tag. Today we're at Silverstone International. Get another sort of short lap, about a minute long. Probably wondering, oh, that's interesting, not a lot of people race around there. Well, that's exactly why I'm doing the guide. There's a couple of corners on here which really throw people off because it's not the same as the normal Silverstone, especially with the new sort of first section layout now. So I thought, you know, it's a good opportunity to pass on a little bit of experience maybe. It's always something I do when I start sort of hot lapping this track as well, which I'm sure many of you do as well, as clear some of the cones around this corner. I mean, why they left them in, I've absolutely no idea. There used to not be a wall there. It used to be absolutely fine, but now you have to clear them up. So just quickly do that. Now that's over. I'll take you around my sort of final lap that I ended up doing there. So quite a fast section to start off with, going into some, you know, really quite technical hairpin. Actually, there's a couple of different lines, but I really like the wide line in, so you get a better sort of drive through this second section. Completely ignoring the braking line, obviously, and really on the power hard going down the straight. Not much time to sort of think through that first section, but really exciting. And you know, if you get the run out of that last corner through here, it's really good actually. Really difficult corner, long radius. You have to remember that the track actually opens up during the second half of the corner and then closes in on you, so you've got to be mindful of that. Again, a technical last sector where you've got to be absolutely pinpoint perfect going over the curbs, ensuring you get a smooth exit. Don't get a clutch kick when you change gear through that corner, which is inevitable, and across the line. So there are a few mistakes people make, especially in this first section if we break it down on the curb too much. Forzaism, the back of the car is just going to swing round, and you can end up anywhere in the wall facing the right direction. Who knows? Again, there, you know, I did it a few times during my sort of 15-20 lap session there. Another one, turning in too early, just getting penalty on that inside curb. It's not even faster either. It chucks you out. You can't carry as much speed through the second half. This one, running a bit wide there, sets you up not very well. You're going to get on this curb, braking on that curb, as you can see, especially with sim steering. It's just not possible really. So we break down the actual lap now. Braking, there isn't really a braking marker as such. You've just got to learn sort of where to brake, I guess, for this one. You need to be on the second half of this curb. What I mean by that is you need to be already sort of half round the curb before you start touching it. So it's quite difficult to accomplish. And again, right on the inside of this curb without going on the grass really. Some cars it's fine, but it will unsettle the car. You can go as wide as you like here, but not too wide. Let's watch that again. Right up against the inside of that curb. If I stop it here, right where into the braking zone for the next section, look where I'm drastically different from where the braking line says, because I've carried some good speed through the last sector. And you can actually make up that time by almost going across the braking line, taking a wider entry into this hairpin, getting you a better exit through the next section. A lot of people sort of forget that they can ignore the braking line, and again there as well. So as long as you get the sort of apex of the corner correct, we slot through two cones. So let's break that down. Look how far over to the right I am. You can brake late. Now turn in on the line and watch how little throttle or braking movement there is here. Watch the bottom right hand side where we've got the sort of blue and red lines. I completely coast into this corner until I know it's safe to exit. Do get a bit of a slide on, but that's okay. Again, look at my attack angle here. I'm coming in almost from the other side of the track to make the corner wider, going onto the back straight. I think a lot of people would carry too much speed through this corner and end up hitting the wall or clipping a cone or both, or you know, it's an absolute nightmare. So I always like to slow down almost too much for this and make sure I get a good exit. Almost a little bit greedy on the exit, but worked out alright. So again, a couple of sort of common mistakes. Just set up wrong, really. You know, as soon as you get on the curbs, the fast curbs through the first set of S's, you're in absolutely no man's land going into this. Again, clipping that little sausage curb set me up all right this time, but you're just not consistently going to do that, and actually ended up overcorrecting and hitting the wall quite drastically. You can see the skid marks from last time. Same sort of setup on the grass. Actually, it just kicks the back end of the car around. Although it was absolutely fine, and I probably wouldn't be mad at that in a race. It was a bit difficult to make consistently. Again, that's that curb on the outside. Don't be going on there. Let's watch it again then. Wide entry in. Make sure you get a straighter exit as possible. Glide over this curb if you can. Doesn't really matter too much about your entry here, but make sure you slow down enough and actually get a smooth exit. Avoid all the cones you can on the outside, and then you get 5 or 6 seconds to breathe when you're going down what is Hangar straight usually. Again, no real braking zone for this this corner. A lot of people forget though that this corner is a fast corner and they end up slowing down too much. You've got to remember that it opens up on the exit, and then sort of you get time as it closes back in on you, so you can carry some good speed. There's a couple of different lines. I tend to favour quite a shallow, sort of narrow line to the inside of the track. It's quite good to practice as well for defending people coming down Hangar straight as well. So I tend to take a narrow line, which you'll see here, and actually I'm going to pause it halfway through the corner as well to demonstrate that sort of opening up thing. So we're underneath the braking line here. If I pause it here, the track's actually pretty wide here, but it does come back on you, so you've got to be mindful of that. But remember, you can have virtually all 4 lines up against the curb. Just don't go over the white line. So you've got a lot of room to play with on the exit here, and if you're in a race, you might get a little bit of a penalty, but actually it could set you up well for the last section. Remember, you can go all the way over that curb. Let's watch that again then. So braking, quite a shallow line, staying in 4th gear. Maybe we've got no traction control here, so we need possibly a higher gear up. Smooth exit and into the last section, which, as we know, so difficult, so technical. Rule of thumb: brake on the beginning of the curb. If you're in a new car, you haven't driven it before, you don't have the braking line on, or you want to maximise the potential, brake at the beginning of this curb. It's virtually always spot on. Things to remember for this one is you've really got to take curb on the first section as well. You've got to set yourself up for the exit onto the start finish straight, because otherwise you're just going to be in no man's land going around this last corner. You're going to be in the middle of the track, and people are just going to be driving up the inside, drive around the outside. You're going to be in some serious trouble. So skip over this first curb. You can either go over the sausage curb if you've got a big car, clip the second curb as well. Make sure you don't take any curb on the outside, as that's just asking for trouble really, and across the line. So let's take a look at a couple of sort of mistakes people make, and mainly it's about this sort of entry. Is taking too wider entry in there, so you're at a poor angle for this next corner. You end up going wide on this curb, which doesn't, it's not too bad that time, but we end up going a little bit wide. Most of the time, if you go on that curb though, you are in some serious danger. You'll be sim twitching, you'll be spinning. It's really difficult. Again, on the curb on the inside, on the entry this time, really difficult to slow the car down. It's unpredictable, and that's what I'm getting at here. It's consistency from being in the right line. Here it looks like quite a good setup. Don't take as much curb as possible, but a bit too of a shallow line. I get greedy on the exit, and now we're just in some sticky astro, and there's no hope for us here. You at all costs must avoid the outside of that curb on the sort of second half of this corner. Again, let's watch it in real time. Take a lot of curb, almost onto the sausage curb. Again, really between the white lines. Floor on nicely, smooth gear change. You can even let off if you want. And across the line. It's really important that you don't get a clutch kick on that last corner. Let's take you through the lap again, the whole lap. Smooth first S's, make sure you take some curb, but not too much. Don't go on the grass. Any line you want really into here, as long as you slow the car down, start turning in on that white line, coast into the hairpin, get the power down, possibly not as aggressively as I did there. Again, almost against the braking line here. Make sure you slow down before the corner and then accelerate through, and you'll get a much smoother exit onto Hangar straight, where you get a breather, you get your sector time if you're on hot lap, and you get to pick your braking point here. After the braking line, take an inside line if you're defending, or if you quite like that line like me. Remember, the track opens up on the exit, get a good line into the last corner, brake on the beginning of the curb, hit the sausage curb on the inside, try and get as tight as possible here, avoid the curb on the outside, smooth power on, let off, or really smooth change of gear. Don't run wide as you'll get a penalty, and cross the line. Guys, ended up being about 6/10 clear of Jersey in second in the 911 GT1, and a couple of tenths further on the Elise GT1. If you like this sort of thing, then obviously give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be creating more track guides in this Lotus. I think it's a really great car for this sort of thing. Guys, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, see you later.